So we'll start with a summary. Basically, a guy named Apollodorus is going out into the city and he's walking around, and then a friend recognizes him from behind and calls out to him. This friend of him wants to ask about an event a long time ago, in which Socrates, Alcibiades, and others at a party for Agathon. And Agathon was a poet at the time who had just won an award, first place for his tragedies, and basically um, he wanted to learn about all these people, famous people, Socrates, Alcibiades, were gathered at this party to celebrate him, and they'd apparently told all speeches of love. And he says that Apollodorus should be the one telling him, because Apollodorus was a follower of Socrates and he was a friend. And then Apollodorus says that the person who told him about Apollodorus knowing about it must have been pretty vague and indistinct, because he failed to mention that, first off, the occasion wasn't recent. Like, Apollodorus is already a fairly old man, and Apollodorus himself was not even there. He learned it from another person, Aristodemus. That's page 1. And start with an analysis. Now, the story of all these men telling speeches about love is clearly a well-known one. It's been told before, and probably likely by Apollodorus himself. Like, clearly this means something important and noteworthy must have happened at this place, which sets us up for in the future. Also, the fact that no one actually bothered to write down the story accurately, or at least until Plato wrote it down in Symposium, says a lot about the time period in which this was written. Their oral tradition was in full effect, and how the same stories being passed around by different narrators who learned it from different people, all of whom have different ways of telling it. It really says something about the time period. What Plato is doing is basically preparing us not for like an accurate retelling of what actually transpired at this place with complete and accurate information, but is telling us that this is fiction, or at the very least embellishment.